Hey, what is up, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Griefdrums, and today we're going to be taking another look at Ace and how, rather than just being like a hard breacher, he's actually kind of like a hard breacher plus Thatcher. This guy can do it all, and today we're going to take a look at exactly what I'm talking about. Good morning. How we doing? So you may have seen my video about how I utilized Ace in a specific way underneath to actually go ahead and take out a mute jammer, pretty much like you would with any sort of soft breach, a Zofia, an Ash, a Buck. And then I went ahead and threw up the gas canister, or the Ace Selma charge, whatever you want to call that, up through to actually open the wall from relative safety. Well, what if you're on the same floor as that wall and Bandit has electrified it? Guess what? As Ace, you can. So today we're going to go ahead and take a look at exactly that. Now, just before we do get started, I want to say a couple of things very, very quickly. I stream over on Twitch on Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays from 8 PM BST. So if you're interested in seeing me epically fail at doing all this kind of stuff live, then come and check that out. I would love to see you over there. Secondly, if this is your first video of mine, or if you learn anything from it and you don't already, please make sure to hit that subscribe button, as it really does help as we march towards 100k. And finally, I just want to say a big thank you to Mav for helping me find all of this stuff, test it all, and film it all. But without any further ado, let's jump straight into it. So first up today, we are over on the aviator room of Villa, and as you can see, Bandit, who used to be pretty good at electrifying walls, has now been pretty much nullified. You'll see him putting down the Bandit batteries on these two walls, which are fairly common. They lead into the study. And then if we come up here as Ace, we'll come onto the balcony and then just head into the actual study itself. What you'll notice is that any wall that has got a soft floor next to it is no longer going to be able to be bandited. Certainly not if Ace is on the team. If they've got a Thatcher, obviously they could take that out. But Ace can do this. He can go ahead and throw down his Selma gadget on the floor just next to the wall. And the Kali type effect that I discussed in my previous video actually goes ahead and takes out the Bandit batteries. That right there is potentially game-changing. It's huge. When Mav and I first started messing around with this and trying out different spots, we were looking at the various different places on different maps that you could do this. And you know what? There are so many main walls, objective areas that are inside of buildings that you can do this on, and it pretty much nullifies Bandit. If there is an Ace on the board, on certain maps, it's going to be pointless taking Bandit. Certainly for places like Villa. Villa is just going to be Kaid's map. It really is. There's no reason to take the Bandit at all, as long as Ace hasn't been banned. Sticking with Villa for the next few, the hunting vault itself, if that's electrified by Bandit, you can go ahead and do it on that wall. That's going to give a really nice line of sight. Alternatively, the triple wall over in the master bedroom that leads into the statue, the same thing is going to be doable here. Now, it doesn't really matter. You want to try and keep the Selma charge as close to the Bandit battery as you can. So if you know whereabouts on the wall it is, that's perfect. But as you will have seen, you can get these from quite a big range, actually. You don't have to be right up next to the battery. But what we're going to do is we're going to head over to here. Now, this is on Bank. Now, the CEO's office, certainly in high elo, is very often picked. And as you'll see, I'm actually out on the north rappel here. I'm going to throw one Selma charge down at the floor because there is a soft floor there. And if you put it horizontally, it reaches out far enough to take out the battery. And then I'm going to go ahead and throw the second one onto the wall. And you can see now from rappel, without even going into the building, I can see all the way through to the long desk, into that meeting room. I can see Bandit running around in there. And like I say, I haven't even come off rappel yet. The first 30 seconds of the round, you could have this wall open potentially without the fear of getting killed from going into the skylight stairwell. This is the line of sight I was obviously getting. That's the window through there. And to be able to put a Blackbeard potentially there and hold all that way through is massive. Border is kind of the same story. Over in the office, you can take out the archive wall if it's been electrified by Bandit. This, in turn, will actually give you one of the most insane lines of sight you could possibly imagine, which I'm going to go ahead and showcase in just a minute. But let's just start off by, taking a moment to appreciate just how effective this is. It's doable on so many maps, and it's just so damn good. So this is the angle I was talking about. Say, for example, your Ace has gone and opened that up. Your Kali can come back here from the east vehicle entrance, stand on top of this pickup truck, and I don't know if you can see that, but looking all the way through there, that is the lockers half wall. If I go ahead and take that computer out that's inside of archives, that right there is lockers, and you can see Mav as Maestro moving around behind the half wall. This line of sight right here was actually taken from a Macy J stream. He was trying to get this this line of sight created by his ace player, but he never actually went and did it. But I mean, just look at how effective that can be. Now, this is all facilitated by the fact that the tree that was previously there in front of the window has actually been removed as part of the TS. In the live build, the tree actually blocks the window so that I think the idea was to stop spawn peeking, but it actually assisted the defenders more than the attackers, so they've gone ahead and got rid of it. This gives that Carly the opportunity to actually play a sniper role and cut the sight in half from all the way out here. You can just about make her out there with the holographic, so it can be extremely tricky to actually contest this. But being able to look all the way through the archives, all the way through lockers, and all the way to the half wall, anyone that's moving around over here is going to get taken out. Any smoke player that is hiding behind a shield, because you very often see players sitting with a shield just here and actually playing around it, they're going to be toast. It's just strong. It's fun, it's strong, and I think, you know, it could potentially see a fair bit of play. The only concern is, as the Carly, you need to be able to read the game and figure out when to actually push away from there and start closing in on the site, and when to just stay there and hold the angle, because you don't want to be in a 1v5 miles away. Now, one reasonable counter to ace is obviously mute. Mute pretty much stops this from going off. You can't really do the trick that I was showing with Bandit earlier against mutes, so you have to get a little bit more creative. Now, initially, we were trying to see how far the radius would go, and we were going to see if the arms would extend out far enough, but as you can see, it's just nowhere near. So instead, we started, you know, implementing the fact that you're going to have to go below if you can't get it. Now, obviously, this wall isn't a prime example, but nevertheless, it's going to showcase that the mute jammer doesn't affect it below, so you can still take the signal disruptors out. Now, I know I've dwelled on this point for a little while now, and I do understand that I've been waffling the entire time, but the biggest thing about this was I was trying to showcase just how many walls you can actually do this on. Over here on Outback, the ability to do it border, chalet potentially. There's a lot of different sites and different places that ace is just going to be viable. Now, for the longest time, we've expected sort of a Thatcher replacement or a Thatcher alternative. And when Carly came out, it was a little bit lackluster. It was a bit disappointing. But now I think we're starting to see more and more options. I really do. I mean, Credit, they are a little bit more defined in their specific roles, whereas Thatcher can sort of deal with everything. But Ace and Carly now are going to become more and more effective at dealing with this kind of stuff. Now, the very final thing I want to talk about with regards to Ace today is going to be about using him kind of like Hibana. So very often you want to get the main wall, or you want to get a wall, and you want to open up the whole thing to facilitate you getting into a certain area of the map. This wall down here on tower is a prime example of that. I'm going to go ahead and throw the gadget at it, knowing full well that it's going to open up a line of sight and allow me through. However, you'll notice on the top section into Attic, I actually shot it out after it dropped down. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back up in a second, and I'll showcase exactly why that is. I now have a line of sight into Attic where I can stop people from moving around. I can shoot anyone that's up there, but they can't get through and flank me. If you want to be able to keep an eye on a certain area, you can do exactly this, knowing full well that they're not going to be able to come round from behind you, or you know, catch you out from somewhere that you hadn't expected, because the wall is still reinforced. As soon as the gadget drops down once and that great big cross is on the wall, you know it's going to open up one section. If you leave it for two, then it makes a vaultable hole. So taking it out as soon as the yellow gadget drops down will give you that line of sight. Now, you don't have to do this. It's just something to consider that, you know, it may be useful. You may be able to put a Blackbeard behind it. You may be able to, you know, just get a good look into the map. It's pretty similar to utilizing Hibana and one row of pellets. I'm afraid that's going to be it for today's video. Hopefully that sheds some light on a couple of different ways to utilize Ace. It's pretty much just an expansion on what I was talking about in yesterday's video. But I think that, you know, the more we utilize and play with this operator, the more we learn about this operator, the more I'm starting to see just how effective he really is. Like, when I first saw him, I thought, okay, that's pretty cool. It's a lot of fun, really nice weapon, a lot of utility. But is there any reason to really take him over Thermite or Hibana? Well, now I'm starting to see more and more that actually that Carly type effect that he's got over Bandit batteries, that could be pretty strong. That really could. It's certainly going to see a bit of a shift more towards Kaid, who's just undergone the nerf to his TCSG. And it's really bringing everyone to sort of a level playing field where there are counters, but I think we could see more interesting bans potentially coming out here. I'd love to know what you guys think, though. I really would. Do you think this is too strong? Do you think this is intentional? Or is it something that probably shouldn't be in the game and is going to be removed before the end of the test server? Let me know down in the comments below. If you did enjoy the video, please consider hitting that thumbs up. If you don't already, make sure to subscribe. And until next time, ladies and gentlemen, stay reckless and relentless.